Hello and welcome back to Yorkshire Talks. I'm Christine Talbot.
And I'm Matt Jameson, and we're here talking to some incredible people from Yorkshire, finding out exactly what makes them tick, a new generation here in God's own country.
Yeah, we're looking to talk to people who, it's not just the traditional people that you've known over many years. We are looking at the new generation who've got different stories to tell, and we've got some fantastic guests over the next few weeks. So thanks very much for joining us.
I know we have, and we're delighted that today's episode is sponsored by patient.info, which is one of the UK's leading information health websites.
Yes, with trusted, evidence-based advice written by industry professionals, patient.info is turned to by millions of people every month when they want wellness and health advice.
So for reliable articles, information and resources, why not visit patient.info?
Well, we're joined today on Yorkshire Talks by an amazing woman. She's actually probably one of the most famous faces on your televisions, and she's celebrating 30 years on the telly box.
Exactly. She first appeared in Emmerdale back in 1995 as an iconic character, Mandy Dingle, but you may also have seen it on some incredible other shows. You've Been Framed, did Strictly Come Dancing, and the iconic Fat Friends as well.
Yeah, she's known for her warmth, for her vibrancy, and of course, that leopard skin jacket. We're absolutely delighted to welcome Lisa Riley to Yorkshire Talks. Lovely to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I keep calling you Mandy. I mean, do you get that all the time?
I do. Yeah, or Misa, Mandy and Lisa, put them together.
Yeah.
No, yeah, of course. I'm as I always say, I'm Dingle till I die.
You Dingle. Oh, that's
I
fantastic.
am. Yeah.
And a very special anniversary this year. 30 years since you first stepped into Emmerdale. Yes. What's that been like? What sort of things have you been doing to mark it?
There's been so many celebrations, and it's weird to sit here and think, you know, that there has been 30 years of this iconic character that was only ever supposed to be there for one episode. So we've won quite a few awards this year, and the Dingles especially. 30 years of the family when we first came into the show, and Mervyn Watson, who the producer at the time, he wanted to make Emmerdale a bit more naughty, a bit more raunchy, a bit more intriguing. It was very much back in the day. It was very much like, you know, they sorted everything out with a cup of tea around the kitchen table in the farm, you know. And we love all the Annie Sugden stuff, great. But yeah, once the Dingles arrived, we definitely stirred the pot and caused a lot of mayhem.
And definitely adds the Dingles were probably the most famous family on television, aren't they? I mean, you were actually at the Insider Soap Awards earlier this year. You actually won the viewers' vote for the best family on telly.
Yeah, and it's always better, isn't it? You know, when there's a panel vote, you're still gracious and you love it, but the ones that are voted for by the public, they're the ones, when people have made that effort, you know, to just go out there and you know, click or phone or text, whichever way they have to vote, to think, you know, you are our favourite. But we have to thank the writers and the producers, because they put the Dingles in the craziest scenarios, you know, Mandy being one of them especially. But yeah, to keep that hamster wheel going over and over, and the endless stories, and of course stories that like link to people in modern day life, you know, with Marlon's stroke storyline, Chaz with the breast cancer. They look to the Dingles and go, wow, that's us, you know. And I think that's why those storylines hit harder as well with the audience. So yeah, and as I said, when I accepted the award this year for the family, and I did mean it from the bottom of my heart. You know, I have been there 30 years, and I look back to when I was a kid, and here I'm sat with you, you know, 49 years old. But the next generation of Dingles, like, they are amazing. I'm saying that as a viewer, like Eden doing the coercion storyline for a year, what that did for her, you know, playing Belle Dingle was amazing. And Danny Miller, you know, played with the Rob Rom, and he plays Anguish like the best I've ever seen on telly. And I'm biased for Little Bradley, obviously my Vinny doing the sexuality storyline at the moment, which is incredible.
Yeah,
it's amazing. And I think you are the most iconic Dingle. I really think so. And when you ask so many people, when you talk about Emmerdale, people are like, who do you know out of Emmerdale? Yeah. Oh, Mandy. We all love Mandy Dingle. But where did it all start? Going back, you said you were going to be in for one episode.
Yeah, she was
30
only there
years ago.
Yeah, that's the truth. She was only ever supposed to be one episode. So my agent got a call. I was doing a play, the musical, at the Oldham Coliseum. I was in Oh What a Lovely War, playing the brilliant Judi Dench's role. And June West, it was the casting director at Emmerdale at the time. Yeah, she came to see me in Oh What a Lovely War at the Oldham Coliseum, and the role of Mandy Dingle was created, and she was supposed to come to Tina's wedding because the storyline was going to be so dramatic and Tina was going to say no at the altar. So with all that drama, they needed that little bit of Dingle comedy. And they rang my agent and said, look, can Lisa Riley do this? It's one episode, but she'll be funny. We know she'll be able to do it. So yes, I go and I get the role, and that was the start of her. And I went on holiday, and then the episode was transmitted, and my agent rang me, and I was actually in Palma on holiday, and gone are the days when we had pages, not even that long. We got a fax. Do you remember
I
a fax?
I remember faxes. I remember faxes.
I love that you remember. Yeah, they faxed my hotel in Palma and said they want to bring Mandy back for another. It'll be a week's worth of episodes. Are you interested? I was like, yes. And it was a siege with Frank Tate, and that put Mandy on the map script wise, because to say she was carried out as a starfish by 4 policemen, and she still had time to flirt with Dave Glover. So there you go.
remember watching it. I remember that episode.
Thrown in the police wagon. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky. I'm so written for, and the character, the leopard print, the tart with the heart. She's everyone's friend.
Yeah.
She's she's what people say to me all the time is she's the lady that we all want on our street. And I think, wow, you don't get.
that's so lovely.
I know.
Yeah.
And still, as Mandy ages, they still keep that heart of her, and I love that.
Well, I was going to say that because you've played her over 30 years. So as a woman, and as a character, she's matured and changed. How have you dealt with that at the different stages of Mandy's life?
That's been the weird side of it, because I never thought she'd have a child, and because she's so juvenile herself, and she needs to be mothered herself, yet by making mistakes. So they play this real brilliance where she will love you, she will care for you, she'll be so loyal for you, yet she's such a child herself.
Yeah. She
needs that mothering. And so I think with that, for the writers, there's more legs, and it'll never stop, because that's still writable, and that kind of connection is there's so many things she can still do. There's so many avenues, because I say to the writers, how have you come up with this? And I mean, the writing team are great, the research team, but how they keep coming up with stuff, and they go, well, Mandy can do anything. There's nothing she can't do. And I like the fact that they can slot me. There's certain characters in Emmerdale that only work together, where Mandy, it's like a chess piece, you can place her with anyone.
Yeah.
And that must, it's the freedom of the pen for the writer.
And you can see that it comes through on the episodes, and the interaction that you have with all the different characters on the show as well. Yeah. How close, do you ever get asked this, how close are you to Mandy? Is the traits of Lisa Riley that is in Mandy, and the other way around as well?
Yeah, I'm definitely confident, as you know, like she is very much. I don't suffer fools gladly like she does. I'd like to think, yes, I'm very loyal. If you tell me something, it will go to the grave, and I pride myself on that. And I like to look after the young ones. I'm very honest with them, because in our industry, when they get fame very young, and they can go down, the wrong roads. I made mistakes. I openly say that when I was young. Wrong relationships, made mistakes with money, was partying. Now I can go to the young ones and go, oh, right, come here, stop that now, because, and they can listen to me. It's not like I'm just being bossy, because my heart's there for them, and I want to help them.
And you've been there and done it, so they get that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they really understand that I know the truth of it. But there's not one piece of leopard print in my wardrobe. That's a famous and death. I would never, even when we were in Australia, true story. We were filming all them years ago. We did Dingles Down Under, and the heat. It was probably 41 degrees, right?
Yeah.
And I'm in Mandy's Dalmatian fur coat, and so recognisable. And I was like, no, look at me sweating. It's there's no way I would ever be able to wear. It's too trademark with the rock.
So when you go shopping with the show's stylists, do you kind of both all go around and you immediately know what Mandy would wear?
Yeah, Ian, he's incredible. I mean, I'm the only ever soap character in soap history to have had a leopard print wedding dress, and I'm proud of that. And when we had the idea, and it was lovely, Vivian, obviously, God rest Vivian's soul, we'd seen an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race where she had the most incredible Westwood-esque leopard print. And me and Ian, we can sit together over a cup of tea and be like, Shall we? You can with Mandy. You can
Yes.
push it that little bit.
Yeah,
You know, the gays love it, of course. Of course, and they love the more we push it. And Ian knows, and I can see something. I can be in a boutique, and sometimes on the rack, it can be quite feminine, and then we take it to Val, the seamstress, and we call it mandifying the clothes. So of course the hemline comes up. Yes,
Oh, I love it. I
the
love
V
it.
comes down, and so something that's beautiful becomes very Mandy Dingle because Val then will work her magic.
I bet it's great fun. I bet it's great
It's
fun.
great. Whenever we have like Dingle christenings, the team like it. I know that our wardrobe department, they love shopping for Mandy.
Yeah, I bet they do.
It's not just like an everyday farmer's outfit.
No.
There's always a bit of tinsel
No
somewhere.
Barber jackets or wellies or anything like that.
exactly.
No.
That's brilliant.
Mandy's love life has been stormy, hasn't it? I mean, lots of ups and downs, even with Paddy as well.
Yeah.
And yet now, things seem to be settling a bit for you both and becoming this long-established couple.
Yes.
I mean, that must be nice to have that relationship.
I'm so lucky. Dom Brunt, who plays Paddy,
he's a lovely guy, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he's my brother for life, and we trust each other. And to have that relationship where the script's there and the stuff's on the page, and then we put our extra bits, and to have that trust to go like, should we just try this? And sometimes it doesn't work. Most of the time we've got that it does work, and we'll put our isms in there, and to have that working relationship is amazing. And you can tell, you can't fake that as actors.
Yeah.
That comfortability that we have together. But currently, and what's on screen, you'll see, obviously Paddy and Mandy are renowned for their comedy, but currently as what's on screen now, you can tell we're very serious. We're looking after the underdogs, and we're being the absolute, the true loyal parents.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to see that different side.
It is,
I guess,
because
of those characters.
Yeah, that's soap as well. You can have that longevity of the couple. People will say like, oh, you're going to be the Jack and Vera and that's incredible. I pinch myself because I remember being with my grandma and granddad watching Jack and Vera, and they're saying that we're the Jack and Vera of Emmerdale. I'm like, wow, I'm taking that one. I'll sew that badge on my shoulder. So, but again, that's the writers again, because they know that they can put us with any characters.
Yeah. You took a break from Emmerdale for many years. What was behind that decision?
So it was my 6th year on Emmerdale, and I was very lucky. Jeremy Beadle was leaving You've Been Framed, and ITV basically rang me and my agent and said, we would like to screen test you to take over. Well, as you well know, back in those days, there were no females on primetime. None. I mean, it was unheard of. That all primetime television, especially Saturday night television, was so male dominant. And I remember saying to my parents at the time, going, what a waste of time. This is never going to happen. I'm a girl, and, I'm never going to host a primetime Saturday night television programme. But you know what? It's one of those things, you think, well, I might meet somebody. It'll be a producer that might think of me for something else. So it's worth my while. I loved it. I was myself. I was truly authentic. I'd never done auto cue before. I'd never known that feeling of a big Saturday night show. 400 audience sat there, this really camp schmancy set, and they chose me. They wanted the girl next door, and I'm proud to sit here with you.
Big show, massive show.
Yeah, and I'm not blowing my own trumpet, because I as a woman, I have to say this, because of that time they took a chance on me, and the viewing figures trebled. And I was doing 13 million on a Saturday night. As a woman,
that's amazing.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I look back now, and because it could have gone completely the other way. And it could have been a bad decision for ITV to make, and gone, why have you gone with her? So we tried to make it work with Emmerdale. We tried to make it work where they could send me away to my dad's, obviously Caleb Dingle, who has since died. So they kept sending me to Southampton for 2.5 months, and then I would go to Granada over, on the M62, and I would go and record the whole series. And the show just went from strength to strength, and I was like, and then ITV offered me something else and something else and something else, and I just thought, well, maybe it is time to let Nemo and swim, and Nemo needed to swim, and not that I would ever think, oh well, Emmerdale's there, because they could have killed me off,
Yes.
They didn't, and I truly never believed I was going to go back, even after all the jobs I did, and then I never stopped working. Then obviously in that time, new exec producer over and over. They kept inviting me back and saying like, would you come back? And I was like, no. And every interview I did, every job I did, all the dramas I did, you know, I remember even like when I was doing Three Girls and it was like, right, come on, like, you know, go back and do Emmerdale. And I was like, I'm okay, but thanks. And I still can't believe that Mandy's popular, but no. And then what happened was I got asked by the then producer, Jane, who was my boss when I was doing Waterloo Road. And what people don't know is that when I'd got Strictly, Waterloo Road had just shifted up to Scotland. She had this massive storyline worked out for me, which was going to span over a lot of episodes. And I just wanted to throw myself into Strictly. And I said, will you kill me off? She said, you're the only actor I ever... No,
too much work.
No one ever says, like, everyone always wants more. And then I said, no, you can kill me off. So I think the original plan was, I think it was 11 ep storyline. And after 2.5, I died of tuberculosis. And then I went on to do Strictly. And threw myself into Strictly. Wow. So then she rang me, she's like, you owe me one. And so, and I did. And I said, okay, I'll do 4 months for you. I'll come back. I will, for the one part of my life, I will come back and I will do 4 months of Mandy Dingle. And at the time, I was offered a massive, I've talked about this before, a massive BBC One drama. So it was that sliding doors moment. Like, do I get on that tram? Do I get on that tram?
Yeah.
I went back to Mandy Dingle for 4 months. As I sit here with you now, I'm now in my 7th. And I've just signed my new contract and I would never even think of leaving. I'm the happiest pig in a dump.
That's
but
brilliant.
it's amazing. I mean, and what a great position to be in. And not only because you offered so much work, almost so much that you're pleading to be killed off, but you actually span different worlds because you do present as well. With You've Been Framed, you're one of the panelists on Loose Women regularly, but also you were in Fat Friends as well, weren't you? Which was another massive show. So you can do all these different things. And that's unusual, isn't it?
Well, thank you. I mean, they do kind of put people in envelopes going, right, that's what you do, that's what you do. But I don't know. I think I'd like to think it's that northern thing, and I do think there's something in that you know, I'd like to think I'm quite relatable. I'm very authentic. I'm not on my social media. I'm not vain. You know, you saw that in Fat Friends. You know, I'm the girl that kind of puts myself waxing my top lip. You know, I'm not. You know, that's who I am.
You are hilarious on social media. Some of the stuff you put on is brilliant. I love it.
I think because I'd like to think I want to be the person that I want to watch. Do you know what I mean? I don't like to watch vanity. I don't like when there's a big drama, and you know, and this can be quite an American thing, but it does happen over here where, you know, there's a morning scene where you've woken up. Well, you know, we've all woken up. Your breath stinks. Your hair's all over the place. You know, and if you've got one lash, it's stuck on your forehead. You know,
that's every morning for me.
And so and I like that when I watch television. I love like Sheridan Smith. She's the queen of non-vanity. And that's authentic. You know, and I like to pride myself on that. And I think the viewers love that. They love that basically, you know, you don't mind looking a bit khaki, and it's good.
And I think that comes across so well with you in everything that you do. You've mentioned Strictly already. Obviously, it's on at the moment. What an amazing experience that was for you. And you made some incredible friends there as well. And it kind of changed your life, didn't it?
Unbelievably so. Again, you know, I'm a real advocate for, especially for the next generation of this, like, let's stop judging people. Like, it's really bad on social media. And when I look back at my time on Strictly, it was the epitome of judging. So when the first photographs came out of who was going to be in my year, and of course, you know, we'd had the Anne Widdecombe's, and it was like, oh, here she is. She'll be the next Anne Widdecombe. You know, she'll be dragged around the floor, you know, and she'll just be a comedy and stupid. Little did they know, you know, I've been to drama school from being a very young age. You know, I was in a tutu at 4 years old. This girl's got rhythm, and I'll show you.
And you were amazing.
The more you knock me, the more these hips are going to shake, you know.
Yeah.
But it was like a food for me. Yeah, the more, and it was also, I'll never forget ever. And it was week 2 when we were in hiding, and my best friend, beloved Robin, who's now upstairs in heaven with my mum, and he turned around to me and he said, "Well, what do you want to do then?" I said, I want to break the rules. He was like, "We can't. It's strictly." I went, "No, why? This whole thing about my size and I'll never be able to be lifted, you know, it's all these Latin dances and the girl gets lifted." And I went, "No, Robin, do you know why? Because I'm going to lift you."
I know.
And he was like, "Then Goodman will pass out." I said, "Brilliant, bring it on."
It's a moment.
That is now an iconic, memorable moment when at that end of the dance that I picked him up, and amazing. Apart from the night we were in Sheffield Arena when I dropped him on the tour. The one we
At
did
least
it.
it wasn't live telling.
No, it was live in the Sheffield
Live
Arena.
in the arena.
Yeah, but of all the times, the amount of times in our career that we performed that cha-cha over and over again. But Sheffield Arena goes down in history.
What happened? What happened?
I dropped him and he fell. And literally, he was in a mood with me so badly for the day. In fact, on the tour from there, we went on and I remember we were going up to Scotland, and Scotland's a great, and he was so moody. He was like, "It was an accident." But yes, I dropped him at Sheffield.
Well, I'm amazed because you didn't do it a bit more often, really. You did well just to do it with once. You talked there about Robin Windsor, who passed away last year, and obviously that you were very close to him. But you also, your mum, you lost your mum relatively young. She was only in her 50s, wasn't she, with Kath?
Years at Kath, yeah.
Now, obviously you've talked as well in the past about having to put on or keep smiling through horrendous grief and bereavement. And I know how close you were, reading about how close you were to your mum. Yeah. How difficult is that? But for you, first of all, but also you have made a positive out of that by trying to help others get through the same thing.
Yeah, it's really hard, obviously. Well, the word act, A-C-T, act, that's what I do for my living. Do you know what I mean? I act, I pretend. I get to work, I put the wig on, the lashes, and I put the tabard on, and I'm Mandy Dingle. But what people don't know is sometimes behind the tabard, or the lashes and the wig, there's anguish and there's pain, and I've got to go on set and be funny. And I've got to dig deep. And I'm so lucky with the fact that I've got a team at Emmerdale, and the poor makeup girls, some days they've had to rebuild my face 4 times. Right. They have. But you as a viewer would never, ever know. But I've struggled terribly. I've struggled really, really badly. At Emmerdale, I've got my girls, the Dingle ladies, in my dressing room, where we call each other bookends for, we can read each other very well when there's days where it's pure bravado. It is because, I've got to live knowing that I can't ring my mum. I won an award and all I want to do is ring my mum and go, "Mum, look at my dress," and like I got voted best dressed in the paper, like, and
she's the first person you still
and Robin was picking my dresses. I needed my gay best friend to go, "Shall I wear this?" And come shopping with me. I've got so many events, like, and I can't do that anymore. And Al, my other half, is so funny, and he goes, "I can't be Robin." I was like, and he can't. He tries, bless him. He's like, he has no interest in fashion whatsoever. And it's really, really hard. But what I've now done and made such a conscious effort of is that real wanting to help other people. Because what I've learned is there's some days when someone, they do this, like, this tilted head going, "Are you okay?" And I don't want that. And it actually makes me worse. It makes me worse because you've actually you've got no idea. Thank you for the concern. Thank you for the empathy. Thank you for understanding. You actually don't know how I'm feeling. You have no idea. So I want to help people find their tribe. And to know that if they've lost their mum or they've lost their best friend, I get it. I get that pain when your heart hurts. You get that lump, like now, like even talking about it, it's so real, it's so raw. And even if you're in your 23rd year of losing a parent, whatever, that one moment, it will trigger you. I've spoken being about in supermarkets, and I see lemon curd. Something people go, "How stupid is that?" When I see a jar of lemon curd, my throat knots up, because that's my mum. That smell, that seeing it, I can see her there putting lemon curd on a crumpet, and those are visuals that, and I see with people, that I can't have that with my mum anymore. And because she lived my life with me, from me being so small, every morsel of my. You'll remember all YTV days.
Yes.
She was there all
Yes,
everywhere.
yes,
You
yes.
saw Lisa, you saw Kath.
Yeah.
You know, she was my chaperone. She was my backbone. If I thought I'd made the wrong decision in life, she forgave me. You know, and she still like put a plaster on for me as not an actual physical plaster, as a plaster of like, you'll heal. It's all part of learning.
Yeah.
And now I'm walking this path all by myself. And I make mistakes.
But you've still got all that inside you. What everything your mum was is who you are and why you are you.
Yeah.
So you carry her with you all the time.
Yeah. And I try and pass it on to Evelyn, my niece. And if like you see it now, and she's the only girl in the family. And and it's like, obviously we talk about mum, and my brother Liam obviously wanted that all the time.
Yeah.
And with Evelyn, and we always go, right, they call me Lily. And like, you know what Lily's like? Well, if you'd have met Nana, right?
Yeah.
That's like, and now Evelyn's full of beans, and she's definitely going to be on the, I mean, there's no two ways about it. She's going to be on the stage.
Well, she'll be following in your footsteps.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
You see Evelyn, the word shy is definitely not in the sentence.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't use that with you.
No,
Lisa.
either, yeah.
But you've taken all that and you've channeled it into supporting other people, because I know you're an ambassador for Maggie's.
I am, yes.
And we actually met. That's how we met, through the
was.
charity sector. Same with us as well, wasn't it? We met through
was.
What a
that.
very
Yeah,
special
yeah.
place.
I know. And
Yeah.
we did the 24-hour dance-a-thon. Do you remember back in COVID? And I had you on the big screen and we were dancing away.
Yeah, that's when we first
but
met.
you do all these amazing things to really highlight the support that people can get when they're going through grief or going through a cancer diagnosis, which is so important.
Well, I think people go really within, and they feel ashamed to speak up. Like, we're supposed to cope and we're supposed to just get through. No, you actually have to find people who you trust and love, who'll just go, I get it, you know. And thanks to places like Maggie's that we're so lucky that's on our doorstep here, you know, that they're willing to listen and not, you know, I've spoken to people similar age to me that go, no, Lisa, I feel foolish. What do you feel foolish for? You're in pain, you know. Here I am. If I was an octopus, I'd give you eight more if I could. Yeah, I would, because I understand how you're feeling.
I think that's absolutely correct. And you've also worked with Sue Ryder as well, haven't you? You've done a lot. Did you? There was a song that particularly meant a lot to you. Are you able to tell us about it?
Yeah, before I mentioned the song. In My Daughter's Eyes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa.
No, it's just it's the lyrics, because it's true, that song. It says, when I'm gone, I hope you'll be as happy as you made me. And that of ever a strength of a lyric, how music can help.
Yeah.
That song's helped me so much.
Yeah.
And I hope by working with Sue Ryder, we use the song a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the power of, I always think senses, like sounds, visual, smells, things like that, when you're going through grief, whatever's your trigger, whatever that may be, you know. When I smell that Clinique perfume, it's my mum. When I see yellow visual, it's my mum. The lyrics, it's my mum. I'm allowed to have those moments. Sorry.
Oh, well, thanks for talking about
Oh.
it so openly and honestly. And, you know, as you say, and you're so willing to give of yourself to help other people.
Yeah, because it hurts. I'm sat here with you now, and you know, the mention of that is it's a pain. Yeah, because it won't bring her back. You know, I've only got the words, and I've only got the colours now. You know, but we troop on with Evelyn as well. She'll keep the legacy going.
Oh.
She knows that song as well. She doesn't get why me and my brother start crying, but yeah, she gets it.
Yeah.
And I think it's so incredible that legacy will continue as well, even though she's not around anymore, in Evelyn, and being able to just be so open about it as well, and feel like she's still there with you, which is
definitely.
amazing.
Yeah. And we said that in her eulogy. We said, we're going to speak about you like you're still here.
Yeah.
You don't have a personality like Kath Riley, and we're going to put you in a box.
No.
Do you know what I mean? You're going to be spoken about because you impacted so many people. Even now, I go back to Bury, and you know, people go, "Oh, your mum, oh, Kath Riley, oh," you know, that helps me heal.
Yeah.
It does.
Losing, I mean, your mum was only in her 50s. It's very young to lose her. But obviously, has that made you aware of healthy living and cancer and all the different things? I mean, was it breast cancer that your mum had?
Yes, and then survived 10 years, and then she actually, on her death certificate, actually is pancreatic cancer. Yes.
I know there was a different kind, but
A secondary.
And Did you ever feel you had to have tests yourself or go down that route?
Yeah, fully. And now I have every February, I have elected mammograms, and people would be very, very surprised. They'd go like, "Oh, you're on the telly, you can afford it." No. Let me tell you now, to have your own private per year to pay for it is probably what it would cost you and your other half to go for a meal in a nice restaurant. Do you know what I mean? So I say forgo that one meal and have that peace of mind, especially for someone like me who has a gene pool, because my granny on mum's side, like we joke about it, we say my genes are terrible, as in genes, but my genes are terrible. My granny was stomach cancer, you know, and her mother as well was cancer. So yeah, looking at the bigger picture, I've got to think that it's probably, you know, going to affect me at some point, but I'm not going to live my life like that. But yes, every February I do choose, and anything, no matter how small, again, with, you know, having smear tests, I go. I'd rather be on top of it, you know, because as we've learned with many cancers now, that the sooner you're on top of it, the better
Early
it's for you.
diagnosis.
Yes,
Definitely.
And the research is incredible now.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we do what we do when we, you know, all the events we do, because we know how important research is.
Exactly.
You know, because
and raising awareness as well. So
we're
like
getting to a
just
place.
said.
We're getting to a place where the research and the investigations they've done have helped save people's lives.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And the drugs and the new things are changing all the time. And everything, they seem to be coming up with new ways of treating them. Breast cancer is one that, particularly the new drugs that have come in over the last 10, 15 years or so, is amazing.
Yeah.
So, but you're looking fantastic.
Thank you.
And I know at one point though, you lost a lot of weight, didn't you?
Yes.
And you were very open about that. You made a documentary, didn't you,
did,
about having loose
surgery.
skin.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about that. What happened and why did you do that?
Because I'd like to think I'm authentic in the sense of the fact that, yes, you can, you know, be told that this is how you're supposed to look and this, and you can't be big and you can't be small. There isn't a day of my life that my weight is not assessed in some way, shape or form on social media. And so at the time when I was doing loose swimming and I lost an awful lot of weight, a lot, obviously then what I was left with was a huge amount of skin. And actually there was parts of my when I looked at myself in the mirror, that visual where I actually wanted to look like I used to look like, rather than have this enormous amount of skin that wasn't particularly nice to look at. So I just thought, well, if I'm going to tell the tale by the weight loss, I'm not going to go, oh, isn't it all fine and dandy? I'm going to go, actually, well, what lies beneath? I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
Because actually this is the truth of what you're left with, and had when you lose so much. So with ITV again, we came up with the idea, the Baggy Body Club, and there were so many girls and boys who went through the exact same thing as me. And again, that pressure of looking a certain way, whereas, you know, I've never ever fallen for that. Like, I'm me and I'm unique, and I don't want to ever be the same as anyone else, you know. And going back to Evelyn, like with that, she'd found pictures online. She went, Lily, you're really, really small there. I was like, yeah, look, and I'm absolutely gigantic there, but now I'm like this now, and there'll be times in life when I'm like that. I'm one of those people. I'm a yo-yoer, you know. And I said, but what you have to remember, Evelyn, you know, is Labubu's are around for a moment. I want to be around for always. I don't want to be, it's my hashtag is I don't want to be a Labubu. Because it's for a moment. Yeah, it's true.
I've no doubt you will be.
Yeah, exactly.
What made you lose so much weight at once? Was it just that you just decided was it the stuff that you were seeing online, or was it just for your own
diabetes?
Was it?
Yeah. So
right.
dad got diagnosed with diabetes, and my sister-in-law got diabetes whilst carrying Jakey, the eldest, my eldest nephew, and that was a point then when I started studying, like, obviously the inevitable would probably happen had I have stayed like that, and touch wood, I've never been diabetic in my life. And I had all the tests, still do, like year by year, and I've never been diabetic. And yeah, it was just to kind of to kick myself into gear, you know, and just have that awareness of the filming schedule that I'd always had all my life. And you'll know this, like, you know, you walk on a film set, there's like Haribos, there's donuts everywhere. And
food
some
everywhere.
People, there is. And some people have that, you know, one of my dearest, bestest friends, she can definitely consume 6 Mars bars a day and not put a pound on. I don't have that. Literally, I'm not that person. I never will be. And I was also the person that had zero, and I mean zero, awareness of portion control. Now I do. Yeah. And again, that's life lessons, you know. And it's portion control is not what I call part of the fad world. You know, like, oh, let's eat kale. Yeah, everyone's having kale. Yeah, yawn. I mean, boring.
What even is kale?
Yeah, exactly. Yawnville, you know.
Needs a bit of salt. It's all right.
Yeah. It's just like, really? Yeah. And so basically, portion control is what I have now like put into my life since then completely.
Right.
And that is important. And it's really simple. Eat less, move more. I mean, there couldn't be anything in life more simple than that.
Yeah.
You know,
so you eat what you like, but you just watch how much of it.
yes,
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
am the sort of person that if I was to go to a restaurant and have like the starter, main and pudding, I'm going to put weight on. I can't be that person. So I will go out with all my friends. You know, we go out for dinner,
we go out for
and
dinner.
I can't do a starter, main and pud because it will show. My body will not, it will hold on to it.
Right. Yeah.
And so by
you-
that, again, it's just awareness. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love, you know, I like we walk for days. Me and Al, it's like our thing. My cap on, and that when I've been learning so many lines on Emmerdale, like I just love to. And we're so lucky here in Yorkshire. We can walk for miles everywhere. That where you'll find me most weekends, just like up a hill,
Miles
like
and miles. Do you
yeah.
walk most days? Is that your best,
love
your
it,
favourite form of exercise?
I do, yeah. And I love Zumba. Zumba, I
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
I do that at home. Yoga, I adore. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's just having that awareness of like, make sure you've moved.
Yeah.
That's, you know, because, you know, we can live in a world of being sat and being on our phone.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's so important, isn't it, to just get out there and move. And,
I think
like
your
you just
mental
said,
health,
yeah,
isn't it,
mental
as
health
well?
as well.
Yeah,
You know.
absolutely. I think that's why podcasts have become so popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People put their earphones in and they're
just
off.
off,
And
go out walking,
before
yeah.
they know it, they've walked, like they've done their 10,000 steps going, oh, that
I
was
know,
completable, you know.
Yeah.
But they've enjoyed it by listening
Yeah.
to stuff like that. Yeah.
You can do
Exactly.
two things at once with walking, which is the good thing.
Exactly.
And also, we're talking about diabetes, which you obviously you didn't get, but luckily,
Yeah.
but you can reverse it by taking those measures, can't you? Which is really good. It's treatable
Exactly.
in
Yeah,
effect.
it is. My dad's doing that at the moment. So he's like changed his health and lifestyle and going out walking more and changing his diet because he's borderline diabetes and obviously doesn't want to get it. So
He's just making sure it
making
never
those
happens.
changes so
Yeah.
it doesn't happen.
Yeah, small. And, and even if it is, you know, it can be like, you know, some people lose like £3 a month. That's okay.
Of course
You
it is,
know,
yeah.
you
Well, it
do
all adds
you.
up, doesn't it? It does,
Yeah.
I love that. You do you. I love that. I say that all the time.
Yeah,
I
just
love that saying.
exactly. And it means a lot.
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
It does.
Back to Emmerdale briefly. I know there's a lot of exciting storylines coming up, particularly over Christmas.
Yes.
So, are you able to give us a hint? What's? I know there's something special coming up involving yourself, your family.
Yeah, so we've had this story of where's Beowulf? So where has he been? Where's he been hiding? Was he really an island where he told us he was going to, or is he not? And obviously what comes through that, and then the repercussions of the fact that when he left and Mandy and Paddy and Bear had this enormous row, very much so with Paddy, and have we played the suicide storyline with Paddy out, are we seeing repercussions that what happens to your father happens to your son? All things like that, and it's a bit of a tangled web. And what's been so interesting, like when Bear came off screen and all the TV magazines were saying, well, he's going to be away for 3 months, then the audience just started coming up with their outcome of where Bear is, and I was going, it's not that, but that's really good.
Yeah.
And then I'd ring up the boss and I'd go, yeah, but have you seen that, what they've said? Because it was dead good as well. Some of the, so it's lovely that the audience are woven into what their outcome they'd like to see.
You could almost do it like a poll. You could do 3 different storylines and
I know.
people could vote for
Yes.
which version.
Yeah. And of course, the new year we've got the first ever time happening where Emmerdale and Corrie are coming together for
How's that going to
Corriedale.
work? How is it going to work?
I can't tell you.
I know. I was trying to get it out at least earlier.
Yeah. There's the M62, okay,
Yeah.
which is the truth. Yeah. There's the motorway.
Yeah.
There's the white rose and the red rose. And that's all I'm going to tell you.
So,
I'm
Wow.
so excited.
are we in the village or are we on the cobbles? Or both?
Yeah.
Or somewhere
in
else,
between.
Somewhere in between.
Yeah, you could be on, that house that's in the middle of the
That's what I
motorway.
said. Yeah, exactly.
You're the farm.
Yeah.
You're the farm in the middle.
I remember having a conversation on that. We were in Mandy and Paddy's house when we first got the truth that it was going to happen. I went, you know that house, right? That I was thinking. Remember Seth? Actually, it's Seth's long lost daughter, and it's her house, and she's been there. And my fairy tale mind was going off.
Oh
on
my
one.
God, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Dying to know.
I know. Well, watching with
Yeah.
bated breath
Yes.
in the new year.
And any other plans?
You'll see. Actually, when this podcast comes out, you'll see something. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Exciting,
Oh, my goodness.
exciting.
You can't tell us.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
But it'll make sense when the podcast
It's
comes
top
out.
secret. It's top
yeah,
secret.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Exciting.
another thing as well I was going to ask you about is I was chatting to Gaynor Faye, Kay Miller's daughter, who's, I know there's some talk in the air of Fat Friends returning at some point in with all the characters now.
Yes.
Is that something you'd be up for, or are you
What?
tied in with the...
I am tied in, but with it
Yeah.
being ITV now, they're very lenient now that they let us kind of trot over here for a little bit. But yeah, since obviously with Netflix and it being released on Netflix and then on all the streaming channels, and because of James's huge audience in America as
Yes,
well,
yeah.
James Corden, and with my beloved Ruth, and so what's happened is the American audience have just fallen in love with it because there's no country in the world has weight issues like America.
Yeah.
And I mean, I used to be able to go to New York and be absolutely free as a daisy. Every time I'm in New York, they're like, "Oh my God, it's Rebecca! It's
really?
Rebecca!
Yeah, wow.
You broke my
Yeah.
heart!" And it's like, "Oh wow, it's really kicked off over there." So yeah, I think the genius Kay Miller, obviously Gaynor's mum, what she did and it proves that timeless writing that it stands now. That writing is just as strong now as it was all those years ago. So I think definitely, the show can definitely be revisited. And I said about Rebecca's children, Gaynor's, and the children of all us
Yes,
lot,
yeah.
and how we've all evolved as families, that you can tell the next sort of generation's story. And I think even more so now, when you look at Fat Friends, why did Kay come up with the idea? She started going out in Headingley. She started secretly sitting in all the Yorkshire slimming worlds.
Right.
And she just sat there and she was like, this is nothing to do with losing weight. This is about people.
It's about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
characters.
It's the people that go. And do you know what? My favourite line ever, and it was Alison Steadman's line, and she says, can we say the other word for poo? Are we allowed to say that?
Yes, you're fine on
yes.
here.
And so Alison said, I've lost a pound. You lose 3 pounds having a shit. And it's that's what Kay found.
Yeah.
Though that actually it was that applauding one, that camaraderie of men and women coming together who had the similarity of weight issues, but actually they just wanted to go to the pub and be friends and have a
Yeah,
natter.
yeah.
That's what the brilliance
The
was.
magic of her
That
writing.
was the magic.
And I know you're right, because she told me once that she said, I'd just go and I could go on the bus and I'd sit and just listen to the
Which always-
conversations and take notes and then use those lines.
Just
in
real
it.
people,
Real
real lives,
people.
and seeing
Yeah.
that authenticity, which we
Yeah.
were talking about before.
Yeah.
Which is magic. It's magical.
Like a sponge.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
But that's why her characters were so
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah,
You know, Rebecca's story, like that, the initial all the bullying with Sheridan Smith in my first episode, that was all based on truth. Lisa Holdsworth, who's then went on to, Lisa's written everything now.
Yeah.
And Lisa's, she's told that story, how that turmoil of bullying, which you see now with the internet, where it's all behind closed doors, that sneakiness of bullying, rather than doing it out in the open. And obviously we now have kids which are having been bullied online.
Yeah.
So it does roll on with time, definitely.
It does. What we also ask as well, all our guests, is to bring some things in with them. And I know you brought some stuff, something that is sequentially Yorkshire to you, but also something that means so much to you as well.
This is for you both to share, and I want a picture and I want an evidence of their Mandy's uniform for her famous tabard.
The tabard.
Yes. So when we think of Yorkshire as well, we think of all our favourite places where we
I love that.
Yes. So I want you to share that one together. So
I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put it on.
I want you to. It's also because I'm so proud of my body of work that's been in Yorkshire. You know what I mean? Fat Friends, and obviously years of Emmerdale, all the work, that I've done here for years that's my work.
Love it. Absolutely. Isn't that amazing?
Fantastic.
I have. Make me cry again.
Oh.
So I've brought
Something
a
special.
picture of me and my mum.
Oh, that's a beautiful
So this
photo.
picture was actually taken here in Yorkshire in the hotel, right? And it's forever in our hearts, the joy that me and mum shared together. And I can walk around so many places like the Corn, whenever I walk in the Corn Exchange in Leeds and I go, we're here, mum. And the amount of days we had all them years ago, when I never thought I'd be sat here with you at 49, showing this picture. And I just wanted to share the love. And Skipton Market the hours and hours of Skipton Market. We used to just mooch and mooch and mooch together.
Yeah.
So that's a real moment that I have so many
That's
memories with how I get through
It's
life.
a lovely,
It's
what
gorgeous.
a beautiful woman.
I'm biased. I think, yeah, she's stunning.
She is.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
and
That
her hair,
smile,
yeah.
she glows, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She glows.
And so, yeah, there's hours and hours of fun and memories that we had. Like when I was filming Fat Friends, she was at the hotel here in Leeds, you know, staying with all the cast night after night. So
yeah.
she shared it all with me here in Yorkshire.
Oh. Thank you
Incredible.
so
Thank you
much for
so
bringing it,
much.
and thank you for talking to us so openly and honestly, being the amazing woman that you are. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on Yorkshire Talks, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been amazing. Thank you, Lisa, for coming. And we're so excited for what's to come as well,
And
all
I'm
the
dying
things, what's happening.
There's gonna be
You're going to
things
know
that
really soon.
I know.
Really soon, you're going to find out.
Oh,
I know.
Well,
I'm dying to know.
We shall wait and see. We shall wait
You've
and
got
see.
my brain ticking over now. What is it? What is it? Oh, so excited for everything that's going to be happening to you, and really lovely to chat to you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you.
Amazing.
So catch us next time on Yorkshire Talks, where we'll be talking to some other fantastic person here from Yorkshire. But don't forget to like, subscribe and follow us on all socials.
Yes. Until next time, bye-bye for now.
See you later.